Hey guys, welcome back to Theo Joe Tech. Today's video is a cool little gadget I thought you guys would be interested in. This is something I use in most of my videos. It is called a light meter. Now, if you're into photography at all, you may have already heard of these, but basically this guy tells you how to get proper exposure when you're taking a picture. If you know about photography at all, you know that there are certain ways that you have to get a proper exposure. You have to set the aperture, the ISO, the shutter speed, all need to be in balance to get a proper exposure. But this little guy, you turn it on and then you put in the different parameters like your ISO and your shutter speed. You press a button and it will tell you the proper aperture size, or you can have it tell you any other parameters and it'll give you the proper calculation so you don't have to keep testing, oh, is that the right exposure? Oh, is that the right exposure? So I thought I would kind of just do a little demonstration in case you guys thought this was cool. This is kind of an expensive one, but there are other cheaper ones that you can get. I think even phone attachments, you can buy some of those for your smartphone that does a lot of the same stuff. So basically what you do with a light meter is you set your shutter speed and your ISO or whatever else, and then you hold this near where the subject is going to be, and you press the button, and there's a little dome at the top that takes in all the light, and it calculates, well, alright, so at 1/60th of a second and 1600 ISO, and this light, I need to be at 5.6 aperture. But maybe you want to have a different aperture, so you just move the ISO up and down until you get to the right one. On this one, there's actually two positions for this little dome. You can either have it sticking out, or you can have it turned in. The sticking out is basically if it's a 3D object that you're exposing for, like a person, and 2D apparently, which I don't use, is if it's a flat thing, like you're illuminating a painting or something like that. So you can have it different ways, and there's actually some light meters that have a spot meter, which you literally look through, and it's a little scope, and it'll tell you the exposure for whatever you're looking at and point it at, but I don't have that on this one. Another thing about this one is you can actually measure lux, which is a unit of light being emitted. So flashlights sometimes have lux. And yeah, so you put it out and you press it, and this one is 420. Jokes aside, yeah, so if you're really close, if I put it closer, it's at 600. So you can see, just an arm's length is going to change how much you have to expose. So it can kind of be helpful if, you don't want to take the time to do a bunch of tests, or if you don't have it all set up, or if you're doing a shoot where there's changing lighting conditions, something like this can be really helpful. But I'm sure you're probably thinking, why don't you just use the in-camera meter? And you know what? For most people, that would work totally fine. One of the reasons I got this is because I'm a total nerd and I like gadgets. But another reason is because, I don't know, I was kind of finding that sometimes I would get a little bit overexposed or a little bit underexposed with the auto camera, and I wasn't sure why. And I wanted it to be perfect. So I got one of these, and yeah, it works fine. So that's why I got it. I actually use this on the cine mode. There's a specific mode for video recording as opposed to just taking a single picture. But if you do a lot of flash photography with like external flashes and stuff, there's actually a mode where you can sync up flashes with this, and yeah, so it'll properly expose even if you have flashes and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. And I guess that's pretty much all there is to it. It's kind of a simple device, but I thought you guys might be interested if you've never heard of something like this before. I know I was kind of amazed when wait, a light meter? What the heck is that? What's that for? So hopefully you guys found it, even mildly interesting, or maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a huge nerd. So you guys can just let me know about that in the comments section. If you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up or even a thumbs down. I don't know. And if you want to subscribe, I try to make new videos 3 times a week. Just interesting, fun stuff like this, or reviews, anything I feel like making. And if you want to check out some other videos on the right-hand side, you can click them or look in the description for the same link if you're on a phone. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Have a good one.